The question was, would you commit a crime to go to jail? These are just some examples of crimes and what the classifications are. I'm not saying go out and do a crime. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is how unfortunate it is for somebody who has lived a normal fucking life, paid their taxes, raised their family, they paid their taxes, they're well into their golden years, and they end up going to jail for the circumstance of not being able to get adequate health care amongst us free people. Now, this is a stupid story, but I came across a lot of people, nobody that I asked, on the interweb, just stories that I read. And unfortunately, there are people who have done something really stupid to get incarcerated for a short amount of time or a long amount of time for health coverage.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Bull Talk with Big Jim podcast.
Guess what, motherfucker?
Some of the information you are about to hear, some may find disturbing.
I don't know who gave them this or who gave them the clearance. On the crotch.
Oh my lord.
Right there.
Can we Google that?
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I fucking stumbled down a dark hole and I love it.
Great cake parties. You know, if I'm going to believe anybody's bullshit, I'm going to believe mine.
It sounds not politically correct, but
You two motherfuckers need Jesus.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Just wanted to do a follow-up video on what I started yesterday. What I started yesterday was a question: would you commit a crime, go to jail to receive health coverage? Now, before I continue, I gotta make some corrections. Previously, I said there was 2.2 million felons or people incarcerated in California. That was a mistake. I meant to say 2.3 million incarcerated individuals in the nation. That's all in the U.S. of motherfucking A. Okay? And just for shits and giggles, there's approximately 110,000 in California alone. We put the question out on the interweb, and some guys actually responded and had a reply. One was, absolutely, it's getting too fucking expensive to live here. Another one was, that's my retirement plan. Actually, a couple of people have said that. I have actually said that, jokingly, but to be honest with you, with the way things are going, it's not too far from reality. I did some more looking into, and I wanted to find out what type of distinguishable offenses there are. Now, I'm only going to use California as an example. I'm not going to get involved there from state to state because that's just too much work and I don't have that much time nor patience right now. So let's run down some numbers. I said it's approximately $70,000+ a year to be incarcerated in the state of California. Breaks down to about $100 a day. Now, I know people who make $100 a day to support a livelihood for them and their family. Something wrong with that picture. Anyway, this is what I broke down, and I figured out what type of offenses are considered a felony misdemeanor or a felony misdemeanor or an infraction. Really need all that. Breaking the law is breaking the fucking law. From what I read, the most Class A Type 1 felony that's out there, there's 6 of them. Violent crimes, property damage, white collar, public order, high tech, organized. That's just a couple. There's one that I have to add up here, and I think it should be something that should be in that as most violent. That's 2. Stalking and basically pedophilia. You're a pedophile, you should be taken out, period. No, don't waste your money on them fucks. But anyway, that's here nor there. Let me just continue on. Those are the big dog crimes. With that in mind, say if you were to actually commit one of those crimes, unfortunately, that's the lifestyle that you led. Most of those crimes are 20 years or plus, 20 years of life, electric care, death penalty, all that other stuff. But then I went down a little further and I looked at to see what a minimum sentence felony is. Now, these are minimum sentence felonies, least class 1. Battery, theft. Battery and theft. Now, for some reason, they put in stalking and child porn. That anything like that should, like I said, again, wipe them off the face of the earth. But with that in mind, Okay, I'm going to use myself as an example. I steal a car. I steal something. Just steal something. I think it also depends on the monetary amount of what you steal. I get an opportunity, and I use that word stupidly. Don't mean to say opportunity, but I have the chance of going to jail for up to 1 year. State of California, you might spend half to $35,000 for me to be incarcerated for something that I did as small and menial as a theft. Now look, it's still a felony. I know. So that's obviously the big dog felony is murder. The least dog, the smallest dog in the felony category is theft or battery, beating somebody up. Okay, now let's get to misdemeanors. Usually a misdemeanor is about a year or less. Now here is an example of a misdemeanor. Class C, least violent, level 1, whatever the hell it. Again, I don't know how to categorize them. I just wrote it down. It still don't make no sense to me. Okay, possession of narcotic, drugs, illegal stuff. Petty theft, vandalism, perjury. Fuck, I lie all the time. Prostitution, really? And indecent exposure. Now, in my lifetime, I would definitely say that I have been guilty of a few of those, actually. I've never gone to jail because of them, so I'm going to leave those stories out of this. My point is, I commit an indecent exposure. Now, there's a fine line between indecent exposure and then somebody calling and saying, hey, my child was unfortunately around when this guy flashed himself. Now, that's considered child endangerment or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Again, I'm just giving you some quick small examples. I'm not getting into the details, and I'm using California as an example. Now, I can get in trouble a lot more. You can actually get put on a predator registry at that point. So now let's be careful, not do something like that. Again, the question was, would you commit a crime to go to jail? These are just some examples of crimes and what the classifications are. I'm not saying go out and do a crime. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is how unfortunate it is for somebody who has lived a normal fucking life, paid their taxes, raised their family, or have never had a family and they've paid their taxes, they're well into their golden years, and they end up going to jail for the circumstance of not being able to get adequate health care amongst us free people. Now, this is a stupid story, but I came across a lot of people, nobody that I asked, on the interweb through our sites, Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, just stories that I read. And unfortunately, there are people who have done something really stupid to get incarcerated for a short amount of time or a long amount of time for health coverage. Now, look, you do crimes, they will add up. California, we have a 3 strikes law. You do some stupid petty shit, those will add up. I'm not saying become a career criminal if you can't fucking afford health coverage. That's not what this is about. But what this is mainly about is to understand why in the hell would you have to do something like that to have adequate health coverage. It's amazing. Now, a lot of people among us in the free world, unfortunately, don't have jobs that provide good health coverage. So they get state assistance, federal assistance. Hey, that's great. There are options. But sometimes those options for people who are definitely ill or definitely need, God, this is a bad way of putting it, up to be living in a better lifestyle than they are. I read about a guy actually going to fucking jail because he got tired of sleeping under an overpass. That's ridiculous. We shouldn't have to fucking do that. Something is wrong. Taxpayers pay for state assistance. Taxpayers pay for penitentiaries. It's a business. It's a private business. Whatever it is. Isn't that a criminal? Isn't that a crime? Isn't that a fucking crime? I think so. But again, I'm not going to get into that. Now, I have ailments, and unfortunately have coverage. I'm thankful. I'm fortunate just to be alive still. But if it came down and I was a little bit older and I needed another heart surgery, I needed, I unfortunately had kidney cancer once. I had the left part of my kidney, half of my left kidney removed. So far, I've been 10 years cancer free. Awesome. But there is a chance it will reoccur. It's a virus. It lives in our body. So would I do something? Well, yeah, I wouldn't go fucking kill anybody or hurt a child or rape somebody. Or I'm too dumb to do anything organized crime or white collar. It's easy for me to just go steal something from McDonald's and just, get some time under my belt and get adequate coverage. Now look, I'm not glorifying jail. There's nothing pretty about fucking going to jail. You can either die out here on the streets and hope you get some sort of fucking coverage or some sort of assistance. Now, you go to jail, commit a little crime, go to jail. Doesn't mean you're going to get adequate coverage, but at least you might get some sort of resolution. Maybe some relief from the pain. Maybe a surgery. Who knows? If I was 70 fucking years old and I needed a massive surgery again, you know what? And I was that desperate, I just might do it. And again, I'm not glorifying jail. Jail is not for everybody. Jail is definitely the last resort, I'm sure, but some people get that desperate. And we live in a country to where, God, I hate to put it this way, but that's an option. That fucking really is an option. It's ridiculous. This was a rabbit hole. It was just a simple question, but, there's too many variables with that one question. Don't want to get involved into the whole prison system and everything else that comes with it and the states and the laws. It's a headache. I can't even start to explain it to you how much of a fucking headache it is. So it was just a simple question. I did get a little bit of feedback. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. But do I believe this story is true? I have to say, yeah. I can't see, and I'm using myself as an example, I can't see if that was your last resort, why you wouldn't. Why you wouldn't utilize the prison system for your own benefit. God, that sounds so fucking terrible, but some people are that desperate. I hope I never get that desperate. I'm thankful. I love my life. I love being free. I love being able to take hot showers. I love my freedom, my rights, my food. I love it all. My woman, my wife. Love my life, it all. Be able to watch TV, be able to sleep in a nice, comfortable bed. Hell, be able to rest and close my eyes and not have to look over my shoulder. Anyway, it's the price of freedom, right? It's life or death. You make that decision. Would you go to jail if you needed adequate health coverage or just health coverage at all, or even just need a hot meal? Again, sticking to the question, would you commit a crime to get adequate health care and go to jail for some sort of assistance? I would say yeah. With that in mind, I hope you liked the topic. It was a short one. It was a little question. Now, if I get some more feedback, I may add to this story. But until then, this would be episode 3, Chub Talks with Big Jim, from the Bo Talks with Big Jim podcast. Peace out, everybody. Oh yeah, go Raiders. Never will I say Las Vegas. Never did I say LA. Always going to be Oakland. Peace.